All right, so I decided to do the first episode of wealth creation. So this is the wealth creation video series. This is going to be episode 1. I got it fresh in my head, so I kind of know where I want to start from, and I'm going to start from here. So we're going to start with, what is wealth? What is wealth? Wealth is not the same thing as being rich, because you could be rich today and then not be rich tomorrow if you don't manage your finances properly. You literally can blow it. I mean, it happens to people all the time. There are people that have hit the lottery, for millions of dollars, and they've blown it all. All of it gone. So being rich is not the same as being wealthy, because wealth requires that you have principles in place that will keep you rich. So being wealthy is the equivalent of using knowledge to stay rich. That's the best way that I can describe what wealth is. Wealth is having the resources to produce finance for you without you needing a job. When you have wealth, you don't have to work. You don't have to work. That's what wealth is. Many people say health is wealth. That's absolutely true. Absolutely. And in order to stay healthy, you have to have resources so that you can afford to remain healthy. Resources. What do I mean by that? You need income. You need to have the financial resources to pay for the things that will keep you healthy. And the longer that you remain healthy, the longer that you can enjoy your financial resources that have been created, which we call wealth. So anyway, I don't want to get all technical about it. Wealth just simply means being able to afford all of your bills and pay for everything that you have expenses for, and you don't need a job to do it. That's wealth. Wealth is having the financial resources in place that produce income over and over again without you touching what is producing the income. In the financial world, this is what you call touching the principal. So in other words, you have a large enough dollar amount or nest egg in position producing income that is never touching the nest egg. That's wealth. People confuse having some money with wealth. People confuse being rich with wealth. People confuse, I got 50,000 in the bank. Okay, that's great. I'm happy for you. Instead of having 50,000 in the bank, I would rather have unlimited income of $2,000-$3,000 a month. What? Yeah. It's just like if I gave you a choice between $100,000 and $2,000 a month, which one would you choose? $2,000 a month forever. See, $2,000 a month is wealth. No, but Mark, you can't afford it. If you have $2,000 a month continuously coming in that you don't need to work for, that is wealth. That's wealth. Because it puts you in a position where you can take some of that money, if you so choose to, and invest in something else and even increase the amount of income that you can generate. That's how you have to look at that. Oh, I'd rather take $100,000 and do what with it? You take $100,000 and then go spend it on shit. Oh, I'm gonna buy a car. Okay, after you bought a car, then what? What kind of car you want? Oh, I want a Corvette. Okay, a Corvette is about $100,000. There's your $100,000. It's gone. Now you got a Corvette that now, how much your insurance gonna be for it every month? Who the hell knows? It ain't gonna be cheap. $500 a month, maybe. Probably more. Then you're gonna have expenses. You're gonna have things that happen to the car that's gonna require you to get it fixed, whatever the case may be. But you blew the $100,000 on the car. So where you gonna get the money to afford the maintenance of the car? This is how people think. These are financial mistakes that people make all the time. Now, if you have wealth, it means that you have created something that is continuously generating income for you, even when you don't have to work. So even a business now, and don't get me wrong, whether you got a business or you have a job, you have to be there. You got to be present. If you have a business ownership is awesome. It feels great. But you have to be present in that business in order for the business to succeed and to generate cash flow and to be profitable. The same way that you got to show up to your job. You got to go to work every day in order to get that paycheck. But what happens when you have created financial resource to the point where that resource generates income without you having to work at all? In fact, it's generating money for you in your sleep. What happens then? That's wealth. So like I'm throwing these ideas out to kind of raise the awareness and raise the vibration that people are functioning on, because people don't think about wealth. People think about getting money and getting rich. Oh, I got to get the bag. You're going to get a bag and then do what? Just like I said, you can get $100,000 right now and blow it. And once that money's gone, it's gone. Oh, but no, I'm going to make sure it's not gone. How? You can have the $100,000. I'll take $2,000 a month. Because I know what wealth is. This is how wealthy people operate. This is how wealthy people function all the time. See, and then the thing about wealth and wealth creation is that you're always able to scale it up based on how you build the wealth to begin with. Now we're moving into the next phase. Even though this is episode 1, I'm going to touch on it a little bit, and then I'll elaborate on it in the next episode. To create wealth today is simpler than it has ever been. What do you mean, Mark? What? Something as simple as buying a home puts you in position to start creating wealth. It doesn't make you wealthy, but it does help to put you in position to start to create wealth. Why am I saying that? Because when you own a home, every payment that you make on that mortgage, a percentage of that is going into the equity of the actual home. So let's say that you paid, or the house cost you $150,000 and your mortgage is $1,000 a month. Of course, in the beginning, a large portion of your payment is going to go towards the interest on the mortgage. But as the principal balance lowers and decreases over time slowly, so does the amount of interest that you pay. And of the $1,000, less of it becomes, or less of it is going to go towards interest and more of it is going to go towards principal. But even from the beginning, you still have a percentage of it going towards the principal of the actual house. So if you paid $150,000 for your house and your mortgage payment is $1,000, you might only have, say, $300 of that $1,000 going towards the actual principal. Okay, it is what it is. But every time that principal portion goes into that equity, what it's doing is it's lowering the balance that you owe, and that lowers the interest rate. So you have a built-in mechanism that is forcing the appreciation or the increase in value by you just living in the house. But a house it's an expense. It's a liability. There are components of it that are, yes. But when you pay rent in an apartment, how much of that are you getting back, so to speak, or how much of that is being saved up for you? For that's going towards the future, or going to add to you in the future. Let's compare the two real quick. Your rent is $1,500 a month. 100% of that is going to your landlord, right? You paying rent for 5 years. Let's say you're paying rent for 10 years. $1,500 over 12 months, $18,000 a year. That's how much it is. $18,000 a year for 10 years is $180,000. So if you pay rent for 10 years, you paid somebody's house off. I'm just saying. You renting a house? You lived in there for 10 years? $1,500 a month? You paid the house off. Over 10 years. I'm just saying. Versus if you owned a home, and see, I'm just giving you guys things to think about. Because people talk a lot about different things, but they don't really know enough to really share information that becomes valuable to you. So they'll discourage you from doing things. Oh, don't get a house because you got to pay for your own this, you got to pay your own that, and the maintenance. Okay. But there's also, with every mortgage payment, a percentage of that is going into your equity. Whether you want it to or not, it's going into your equity. It is increasing the amount of money that is sitting in the house. Oh, but the house could be worth less than what your mortgage. Okay. But you still got to live there, right? So if you live in your house for 10 years, 10 years of mortgage payments, every year, the interest is becoming less. More of it is going towards the principal. So more of it is going towards building up the equity. Less of it is going towards paying the interest, right? Over the course of 10 years, are you in a better position versus renting? Or are you in a worse position? You're in a better position. Any way you look at it. Oh yeah, but you got to pay for this. But when you pay your landlord, you still got to pay your power bill. You still got to pay your water bill. Unless it's included in the rent. Some people's are and some people are not. But regardless of what you got to pay, you got to live somewhere. That's the point. So I'm just giving you one example. That's something right there. Home ownership is a way to create wealth. Or let me rephrase. It's a way to position yourself to begin to create wealth. And I'm going to leave it there. That's episode number 1 in the bag. I'm going to holler at y'all, man. Y'all stay tuned for more. Y'all know what it is. Mark Fuller, Team Alliance. So this is the Wealth Creation Series. That was episode 1. And yes, stay tuned for more. Deuces.